because Koopa has been dominating the meta, as we know, along with Blissey. Could this be the start of something new? It feels so right to be here with you, boy.
That is a nice reference right there from his knees, but off we go. The first round of the Winners Bracket Finals. We got Ground Zero, the champions of the May Cup and the AOS Cup as well, going up against iClen, with Ground Zero having the early KO onto that matchup.
Yeah, they started off with bang. We talked about it earlier in this tournament as well. Machop can really get to a very scary stage where he's just straight up lifting each one of your team members in his arms. But at that Machop stage, he's kind of a little bit of a wimp.
Yep, you know, being a 3-stage Pokemon, being at the basic stage is not where you want to be. There's the weakest part of this whole evolution line. Not having an additional attack or additional sex coming in, you know. But however, this matchup is on the mission. He wants to fill up those battle weights, attack weights to, you know, lift up and just buff up himself to get those additional arms.
Absolutely. Some pressure coming out onto Frith, but being able to just waddle her way out of that one. I think Frith playing that Blissey, the highest HP pool in the entire game out of every single Pokemon on the roster. So not going to be too bothered. Meanwhile, Lush in a similar situation. Joe tanking some of the hits, but turns around with a nice sequence of moves. The safeguard as well. And what a sick turnaround. Did you see that? Lush held that to the last moment.
That is what a good support is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Lush supporting the Venusaur, not allowing to go down this easy. Having that focus sash, he's able to sustain a little bit longer. And in the process, taking out that Machop 2 KO just before the 2-minute mark. That is not where you want to be as a Machop right now.
Exactly, managing to make it to that Machop stage at the very least, so not going to be suffering for too long. But all the lanes seemingly, you know, it's not a huge advantage, but Ground Zero is definitely starting to take a bit of a lead here.
Yep, take a look at this. We have seen Sulu on the Greninja, previously on the AOS Cup as well. But this time, opting to go for the Cinderace. Things is going to be looking different, right? Because there's a little bit of nerf coming in for Greninja. So instead, you know, choosing for something that has a more stable attack power coming in as well. That Cinderace might pay dividends into the late game. But how is he going to challenge the huge damage attacker coming in with the Dragonite from iClen?
I mean, it really comes down to objective secure, right? When you talk about Dragonite, it's all about that Hyper Beam being able to grab the objectives, whereas for Cinderace, it's about that consistent damage, like you said. Meanwhile, we're seeing Dawn getting pressured up by the Dragonite on the side of iClen. Can't get away from that situation as he goes down and gives over that crucial level 8. The Dragonite is online.
Yep, Auraville, you know, immediately going in for the Serena as well, but Pengu not allowing them to rest on the bottom side. Untamed pushing in Sulu in a little bit of danger as well. Hyper Beam unable to get Sulu, but here we go. He's there for the revenge.
Oh no!
But going down immediately to the Elder Gods.
Yeah, and Untamed still sitting pretty, has the Dragon Dance, has that support coming up in Blissey. That was a clean rotation coming in from Frith, just in time to save Untamed. And just like that, Ground Zero, they drop 4 to the deck in one fell swoop.
Yup, and this is a really clean rotation coming in from iClen. No Hoopa, it's okay because we got those Leaf Tornado speed buff coming in as well. Ground Zero coming in to challenge the Dreadnought, but it's immediately going straight to iClen's pocket.
There's absolutely nothing they can do because iClen, they just clean that up so fast. It's what we talked about. This Dragonite, if he hits this pivotal stage so early on, he can just clean up those objectives, and that's exactly what he did. Now, Sulu, I do have to wonder whether he went in a bit too far there, perhaps feeling like he had the support, but immediately just got focused down. iClen, they had him in their sights.
Those early KO coming in from Ground Zero is not looking great for them, and down goes A9 to iClen. Additionally, you know, breaking down the tier 1 as well. Things is looking great for iClen. They got the levels, they got the points, and right here they just need to maintain this, and they could steamroll their way through into Ground Zero.
Moonboy, I just have one question. Where was this iClen during AOS Cup? They're playing so damn clean. I feel like this is play that we usually attribute to teams like Ground Zero, where they're just so disciplined, but this time round, it feels like Ground Zero, there's some cracks starting to form.
Yep, to beat a giant, you really have to be a bigger than them or even stronger than them and find those loose cracks. And that is what, you know, defeating big teams like Ground Zero that you need. Vernon Anger coming in from Ground Zero as well. It seems like they're in the push. They want those revenge on their teammates.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Serena goes a bit too far. Gonna get punished up by Joe. But iClen, look how fast they're playing. They're Tokyo drifting it all around AOS Stadium right now. Okay, a fight breaking out. Untamed could finally go down for once, but there's this assistant Sulu in a bit of trouble, but managing to kite them out. Still raining in the fireballs, still raining in the damage. The Rabbit is starting to do it. Hop, 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 all over the sides of iClen. They finally get the touch on the game. That's about them taking him down. And now the Serena is back in the fight. iClen pops Joe up, and the stop is down. There goes that Venusaur, and as the dust settles iClen, the reinforcements were there, and Ground Zero get flattened.
The sustainability is there, but they are unmatched to whatever iClen damage is going to bring onto them. Those close combat and those storms coming in by the Machamp and Serena is just too much damage. Is Ground Zero able to sustain off this one into the late game? I don't think so, because those amount of numbers coming through is just too huge.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about it as well. iClen, they definitely have a better late game scaling composition between the Machamp and the Serena and Dragonite. These are Pokemon that offer a lot more in the later stages, where someone like Alolan Ninetales would need, to leverage off that early advantage. If they keep this up, this sheep at home is going to be a sheep in London.
Yep, and not forgetting level 12 on that Machamp as well is looking so great compared to what Ground Zero has to offer. Highest level right now is 11 on that Venusaur, but that's basically the average level of iClen.
Oh, in comes Pengu straight into the back line, but getting pushed away. Nice kiting there from Dawn. Just gets them all away from his safe Cinder Ace and says, get off my rabbit. There are the rest of the damage dealers on the side of GZ, trying to surge forward right now. They want to punish Curry Puff and beat him up, but they're going to get back to this Tier 1 Go Zone. Ground Zero, they're going to be happy with that one and settle for that Rotom. The pressure is still going on though. Here comes the Siege. There are the Unite moves. Okay, there's the pedal dance, and they're holding strong on that Tier 1 Go Zone. They're fine with this. Sudomu still going forward, still on the back line, still the Blaze Kick in straight to his demise. A bit too far forward, my friend. The rest of the side of Ground Zero, they're still punishing though, still staying, and man, Ground Zero, they lose Sudomu, but it comes at a huge cost to iClen.
A team is not built by just one person, and that's what Ground Zero said. You can bring down Sulu, but we got the rest of the team to back him up. Joe on with it, that pedal dance just shredding iClen apart. Not forgetting those sustainability coming in from Dawn and Lush as well. Those amount of healing is just too much. iClen, they have to think twice. How are we gonna outmaneuver these healers?
When you want to hunt the rabbit, you kind of got to dig down the burrow, right? You got to reach your hands down there. But when you got Cotton just flying out, they just have so many ways to just flush you away from Suluwu. And it takes such a commitment from iClen to take him down that by the time that they do, they're out of resources. Now iClen, they're going to make a nice rotation to secure this Dreadnought for themselves. But this is just a little pick-me-up before the final stretch. They are around 100 points behind. This Zapdos is going to decide it all.
At this point in time, both teams looks even right now as we are waiting for engage, and there we go, iClen on the offense.
Challenge finds the back line with a huge snow globe, freezes them all up. The ball is slightly broken, but they're starting to reform. There's the Content Crash as well, trying to make the space, and immediately that is one on the side of iClen down. That's not really what they want to start the fight with, and they're starting to run down Curry Puff. There's the Machamp, those sheep at home, laying in the damage, but the Blaze Kick is enough, just outruns him. He manages to finish down too, but Joe is the big winner of this all. Curry Puff, he's still standing around, but this is just the Eldegoss can't really provide a lot of damage. Only the two supporters of iClen remaining. They need a miracle steal to make this one happen, but it's all falling apart in front of their eyes. Look at this Missy trying to find an opening, trying to find a way in, trying to get this Zapdos. No shot for iClen. Joe stands strong. We talk about Lumu, we talk about challenge, but we forgot about this brilliant top path player coming out from Ground Zero. He holds down the fort and he gets his team the objective.
Wow, that was a good engage coming in by Ground Zero. That snow globe literally caught two men out of iClen, taking them down one by one like flies, and Ground Zero stood strong, even though, they got 1 KO on Ground Zero as well, but it's okay. We got that Zapdos. We're gonna be going for the dub, but right here, 40 more seconds on the clock. iClen could still come back off this one with this big push on the bottom side.
Yeah, maybe a bit of overconfidence coming out from Ground Zero. They're only left with one defender challenge, and Lush forced to go up to this bot side, but there's Sheep at home, laying in the punches, swinging, and trying his best to make the space for Team Lush in a bit of trouble, but manages to get out. The AoE damage coming out from this challenge boy is gonna be enough. It buys enough time for Sulu to make it there as well, and even though they get a nice dunk in the top side, it's not enough for now. There's the Dragonite making the leeway though, and now it's 3 points! 40 points coming in from this Dragonite, and it's enough! Just like that, 3 points is the difference, Moonboy. 3 points is all it takes. They add in another 44. Insult to injury, Ground Zero. It all looks so beautiful, but it all falls apart at the final stretch. Not like this.
Wow, I mean, iClen literally went with that split push, doing it clean, knowing that Ground Zero have no resources to stop them from that split. Ground Zero was focusing on the bottom side as well, but however, the top path was left empty.
Now, let me remind you, ladies and gents, that this is the winner's final, and as JJ and Danny have highlighted before, this is not the end of the road for either one of these teams. But both of these teams, they've been undefeated so far, so iClen are going to be the first one to kind of take the game off Ground Zero.
Yep, and one more game onto iClen's pocket. That means they are moving one step closer to London as well. It seems like Ship is trying to go for a sneaky dunk. He's stealing a citrus berry in the process as well. Lush managed to dunk a little bit more, but I think, he's being pushed back as of right now.
Absolutely. I mean, relatively quiet early stage. I think this Machov definitely learned from his mistakes a little bit, doesn't want to overextend and got caught out. He understands that that's how Joe got off to the rolling start. And, even though Bulbasaur is a lot better in the early path stage than a Machov is, you can still it still takes a while for them to ramp up to that Venusaur, right? So still can keep that relative parity and they'll be okay moving into the late game.
Yep, I mean, as long as those Razor Leaf actually lands, you were able to just take out as many wild Pokemon as much as possible. So this amount of last hit potential coming in from a Bulbasaur is what's needed, and Joe really need those EXP to get himself up to par. Take a look at this Machop already at level 5 in the Machop position as well. So, it's down to Ground Zero. How are they going to keep up to this? Because we might see a deja vu coming in from game number 1.
Interesting rotation coming out from Sheep at home, makes the move all the way to the top path and grabs that Citrus Berry with the dynamic punch, Now Sulubu forced to eject button out of that situation as they have to relieve some of the pressure on their tier 1 go zone, but iClen, they really hammer it in.
Yeah, it seems like right now iClen is in a little bit of a comfortable position, right? They got the levels up, they got the points up as well. But right here, how are they going to maintain this focus? Because the main focus right now is going to be on that 7-minute mark. Is when that Dreadnought goes live. But right here, Lush might be in a little bit of a situation as well, but I believe he will be walking out of there scot-free, and while Joe is still trying to farm up his levels.
I mean, biggest thing for iClen is getting that level 8 Dragonite again by the 7-minute mark, and looks like, Untamed, he's well on his way and he's right on track. So things looking all good for iClen. They're not too concerned about how this early game goes as long as they still get the EXP up and maintain, relative even gain state. Now Dawn in a bit of a pickle, the Leaf Tornado, not enough to get him out of there, and Sululu once again forced to back up as the overwhelming might of iClen in this top path is going to break open that top tier 1 go zone.
Yep, an early break for iClen really allows Ground Zero to have the side lanes Aldino to farm up as well. You guys have to remember there's no Hoopa in this matchup. That means, once breaking, the position of the Bees and the Aldinos will be available for Ground Zero advantage.
Yep, here's the Dreadnought fight that we were talking about, already at half HP, but the Dragonite is in the area. In comes this Venusaur, Ivysaur as well, but that is not going to be enough damage. We talked about the weakness of the Ground Zero lineup. They don't really have a lot of mobility, and they definitely do not have a way to secure these objectives. They are trying to clean up the backline though, but now Sulubu is the next one in the pickle. Gets Queen's Ascendant up, and Pingu is just gonna stomp them down. This feels like a cookie cutter of the first game. It's the first Dreadnought fight where they really just can't hold the candle to what iClen are offering.
Yep, iClen didn't just won that Dreadnought, but they won that whole fight. And immediately pushing a little bit more point on the bottom side as well. And that actually allowed them to have an additional edge against Ground Zero. 40 more points breaking down the tier 1 on the bottom side as well. Ground Zero has no more tier 1 for them to survive on. But however, Ground Zero is rotating straight right to the roadside.
Yeah, they want to try and get an advantage. They know that there were resources spent in that bot path and no one's going to be able to make it up here. There is the Unite move coming out from the Machamp, trying to do what he can. But there's the return. Blazing Bicycle Kick actually comes out. A bit of a swing and a miss. The fight is still ongoing. There's the Draco Impact. Sulu forced to flame charge out of that one as Untamed is going to clean up both supports and even challenge them for the Bees here. It feels like Ground Zero, they're just being cramped up to their side of the map. Every single time they try and make any sort of maneuver, immediately the response is there from iClen and forces them back.
Untamed literally chased Ground Zero back to their tier 2, but Joe able to get the invisibility frame by leveling up into that Venusaur, dodging himself that Hyper Beam. Untamed has no choice but to back off. You don't really want to deal with Venusaur just yet, but Ground Zero, they need one big fight for them to come back off this one, but it might be happening on the top side.
Looks like they might have found their opening, but Sulu as well forced to eject button. That's a crucial one. He's now in a bit of a pickle in between the two all-rounders, but Sheep at home is the one in trouble. The Focus Man got a proc, but they're definitely going to run him down, getting that move speed from the dynamic punch, but it's not enough as Don is there to corner him out. And Untamed, now he's left alone. What can he do? Pengu as well. The Storms are enough, and they take down the Cinderace. Then the Crocodile Crash falls out from the side of Ground Zero. This is a full-on brawl, but once again, they don't have their Sulumu. Is it enough to Snow Globe? But a nice eject button out from Untamed, as well as the shield, keeping himself up and running. They're going to get the Eldegoss on the side of iClen, but not much else.
Yup, iClen really played it pretty disciplinedly at that part. Untamed not going to engage, right? He knows that he's not going to survive too long. Charge up those Dragon Dance and make that Hyper Beam to work. Ground Zero already got a good position onto the Dreadnought as well. iClen tries moving into position to try to steal it, but unable to do so. iClen trying to push Ground Zero back.
Draco Impact just to get that additional buff stats up so he can keep the chase going. Untamed wants some action, but can't find it at the moment. The Queen's Ascender definitely gonna force something out. So Lumu is gonna be the one to hit the ground as iClen. They don't really, I don't really think that's exactly what they wanted. Sure, they get the pick up onto Cinderace, but that's 2 Unite moves for 1 pick up.
Yeah, but it's worth it, right? You got Sulu behind, and right now Sulu is really behind compared to Untamed, and that's where you want to be, right? Just control Sulu, not allowing him to do too much against your team. And look at this, Blaze keep coming in from Sulu as well. Ground Zero is on the push.
Yeah, eject button out, just back to safety. Understands he's in a bit of a precarious position as well. The flame charge out, but there's the Unite move coming up from Machamp. Blitz assistance immediately available, but the Venusaur is going to go down. Joe not out of the fight. There is that the Eldegoss as well, though. Not going to be able to impact too much off of the sides, but they are going to get the pick up of the most of Ground Zero. And Lush tries, he can't actually keep his damage dealers up. He has to run for the kills, but there's so much mobility, there's so much chase. But, well, I mean, if you aim the Hyper Beam the wrong way, you're not going to get anybody, right?
Yep, I mean, Lush, he was lucky enough to get out of that fight right over there as well. If the Hyper Beam landed on Lush, things might look really bad for that Blissey. But right here, 185 to 79 points. iClen still have that really good position, and they are ready to take the fight into Ground Zero. But they just have to be a little bit more careful of the Alolan Ninetales coming in from Ground Zero.
Oh, Lush has the safeguard, but Sheep at home, another dynamic punch forward. That's going to be the pickoff that they've been fiending for. And I'm just worried about Ground Zero because, like we said, they don't really have the objective secure that iClen have. Sheep at home on this Machamp has been absolutely dominating the side of Ground Zero, running in with that Unite move and just forcing so many members back. They can't stand up to that amount of raw damage no matter how much sustain that they have. And that's going to net iClen a free Dreadnought for now.
Yep, this additional Dreadnought is going to be granting them those shields. It's going to be helping them later on into the final stretch as well. However, in the central area, it seems like there's a little bit of a scruffle right here. And Ground Zero might be caught.
Absolutely, definitely gonna go down. Once again, Sheep at home finds that rabbit, and they're gonna get trapped up. No! The walls come up just in time, and they corner the side of Ground Zero in. That's Joe down. That is truly unfortunate timing. Dodge trying to do what he can. He's just the Eldegoss, so what can they offer up? Is there enough damage? Challenge is still standing, and Sulu's back in the fray. Have they been able to do it? Right now, it's only 3 for 2 down, and iClen, there's nothing out. This the blazing bicycle kick. It's there. It's in time. Sulu says, objective secure. He's in a little bit of trouble though as he gets knocked down. Perhaps feeling a bit too good after that score. And he's gonna be now under a lot of pressure because they only have 1.5 minutes left. Sure, they've gotten 1 dunk out. Sure, they've stolen the Zapdos. But what else do they have to offer? They're still behind. Joe trying up for a 1v2 right now. We've seen Venusaur in these positions. The fights, are they enough? Absolutely not. Sheeper at home just cleans him up. And this Machamp has just been all over Ground Zero from start to finish.
Both teams started the fight early. That particular wall coming out from the Zapdos literally trapped Ground Zero in that pit. They were down, but however, Sulu came back in time, went for the blazing bicycle kick, got that Zapdos, and got them that additional Zapdos buff. But right here, it seems like iClen might be going in for the push as well.
yeah, iClen, while we were talking about the entire engagement, I believe Don actually managed to make his way up to the top sides. Either Don or Lush, I don't know who, we must have missed it, but they actually managed to get the dunk out. So ground zero, they're the ones in the advantage for now. iClen, they have to know this is the final stretch. They need to make a move, but look at that, Blissey buying so much time. Sheep at home, trying to find an opening. Frith as well. They are engaging, but only 20 seconds left. Can the rest of the side of iClen make it there? They've done it before. They've wiped out the defenders, but they need to do it now. Sheep at home, in he comes, but there's the Bliss assistance out onto this Machamp. He's trying to run for the kills. The Dragonite in the top half. The Dragonite in the top half. And 82 points. And the top side, Untamed the G does it to him once again. How does he keep getting away with this?
Is this enough? Is this enough? I have no idea. I actually lost track of the counter right here.
It's more than enough.
So there we have, ladies and gentlemen, 218 to 246. The giant of OCE has been taken down right here by iClen. They got their Zapdos, but they were unable to catch